Hey everyone, let's just jump right into today's explainer because wow, we are embarking on an absolutely incredible journey today. We're going to trace the very concept of intelligence, but we're not starting with human history. No, we are going all the way back to the actual beginning of time, right up to the cutting-edge cyber age we find ourselves in today. We're basing this whole analysis on the fascinating work of Professor Guy Lakeman, who really challenges us to look far beyond just human psychology to understand what intelligence truly is at its core. Okay. Let's dive into this. Now, you might be wondering, what on earth does a 14-billion-year-old cosmic shift have to do with the future of artificial intelligence? It sounds like a massive leap, right? Well, what's so fascinating here is that to figure out where digital intelligence is heading, Professor Lakeman argues we first have to understand the fundamental rules that created biological intelligence in the first place. So this isn't just a history lesson, it's literally a blueprint for our digital future. All right, part one, the roots of intelligence. We usually think of intelligence as something happening in brains or, computer chips. But Professor Lakeman points out that what we commonly call the Big Bang was actually a massive reorientation of an energy soup, basically a distributed entropic transition. Gravity was really the first rule maker. It clumped particles together, creating this immense friction that birthed stars, which then exploded to scatter the exact elements needed for planets. From there, chemistry took the wheel, brewing up a prebiotic soup that eventually led to the RNA world, where simple, self-replicating molecules were enclosed in membranes. It totally sets the stage, going from gravity to chemistry to the absolute building blocks of life. Moving right along to part two, the biological brain awakens. To see how that biological spark really caught fire, we have to look at symbiogenesis. This is a theory championed by Lynn Margulis, and it completely challenges the purely competitive dog-eat-dog Darwinian view. Margulis showed that complex life didn't just evolve by random mutation or by organisms just eating each other. They actually evolved through cooperative partnership. And this reliance on cooperation over pure competition, well, as you'll see, it's going to directly mirror the most advanced AI concepts we'll talk about later. So how exactly does that cooperation work? Imagine this. We start with simple, independent bacteria. One cell literally engulfs another, and this is the crucial part, it doesn't digest it. Instead, they form a symbiotic partnership. The engulfed cell might become an organelle, kind of like a mitochondria providing energy for the whole setup. And boom, a complex eukaryotic cell is born. Lakeman notes this is a perfect, natural example of applying simple rules to create highly complex forms, individual entities combining to create a higher, way more capable system. Which means the main takeaway here is that true intelligence didn't actually start with some giant brain. According to the source material, it began as, well, a simple choice. Early cells developed flagella. These are microscopic rotating propellers powered by ion gradients. Intelligence was simply having the mobility to actively move away from a threat, like extreme heat, and toward a sustainable environment, like food or light. It was literally the choice to survive. And the ones that couldn't make that choice, they went extinct. Now, fast forward drastically, about 550 to 600 million years ago. During this period, early worm-like marine animals developed bilateral symmetry, meaning they had a distinct front and back. This physical shift caused neurons to concentrate in their heads so they could better navigate their environment. This was the birth of the very first rudimentary brain. Intelligence was centralizing to process the world more effectively. Which brings us to part three. The cyber intelligence era. Jumping from those ancient oceans right into our near future, Professor Lakeman highlights that current cyber intelligence systems have completely outflanked human abilities in scientific reasoning. No joke. We're seeing this right now in DeepMind's AlphaGo and AlphaFold and in the massive rise of robotics everywhere. These artificial neurons are speeding up through photonic processors, and they're learning not just from fixed human rules, but through internal trial and error. It's incredibly similar to natural evolution. Let's shift gears to part four, flaws of the AI monolith. Of course, evolution always has its dead ends, right? And Professor Lakeman presents a pretty stark critique regarding the current trajectory of centralized AI. He argues that today's AI chatbots, which are often trained with inherent biases, are creating what he calls an antisocial shambles. He even suggests that heavily AI-administrated social sites are starting to resemble tyrannical dictatorships. In his view, human survival during crises has always relied on independent traditional networks, like the family unit or clan. He contrasts these organic life rafts against a centralized Western administrative system that he perceives as crumbling, specifically because it prioritizes the state over the foundational family unit. So he's offering a very provocative sociological warning about the dangers of flawed monolithic systems. And finally, part 5, the agentic hub's solution. So if giant centralized AI models are flawed, what exactly is the evolutionary alternative? Well, on one side, we have the pursuit of a single artificial general intelligence. Lakeman views this as an energy-hungry tower of overweight babble, basically wasteful and inefficient. On the other side, the evolutionary path points toward specialist agentic hubs. Think about it. You wouldn't go to Albert Einstein for advice on everyday household items, right? Just like you wouldn't use a massive protein-folding AI to play a simple board game. The future, for sure, is highly specialized. To really picture this, imagine a central cyber hub acting exactly like the human brain's corpus callosum. Instead of one giant, muddled brain, you have these incredibly smart, specialist, agentic superintelligence silos. The central hub just coordinates and integrates the traffic between them. It doesn't filter them. It doesn't interfere with their specialized functions. It takes only what is needed, providing general intelligence to the user through elegant connectivity, rather than just brute force processing. The benefits of these transitive reasoning hubs are absolutely profound. They are fostered by diversity, functioning a lot like a university where completely different specialized departments collaborate to solve complex problems. Instead of an egoist parliament where unqualified voices vote on absolutely everything, it operates as a specialized reasoning committee. Plus, because our planet has diverse ecologies and subgroup priorities, this decentralized model actually respects those differences. It ensures a sustainable, agile evolution rather than just forced monolithic compliance. So this leaves us with a massive, powerful question to chew on. As we stand at this incredible crossroad between 14 billion years of evolutionary history and our rapid, almost unimaginable digital future, will we build artificial intelligence that functions as a single monolith, forcing compliance? Or will we build a diverse, specialized ecosystem that fosters true evolution? The lessons of biological survival strongly point to the latter. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope it gave you a completely new perspective on the true nature of intelligence.